Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that button I need to hit. Okay, now, I think that's what it is. I don't know if it did in my intro, but let's see if at least got me on the screen. Okay, well, it says I'm going live, so here I am. Okay, I figured it out. So let me go ahead and do my intro, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we did it. I figured out how to then get it. I needed to go into YouTube and hit go live. So, like I said, I'm learning this all, and I'm also realizing that I have an older computer and I need to give it a little bit more time to warm up, just like its owner. So, we'll get there. I welcome everybody tonight, and I appreciate everybody's understanding as I'm learning all this new technology, because it really is new. It's new for me, and I'm learning it and trying to understand it and trying to put out good content. Let's say that really not fast at all. Content for everybody. So I really appreciate everybody's patience as I'm kind of going through the learning curve. So I figured out now how to make sure that when I come on, I know I need to go over to the YouTube button and hit live. So that's why I was not live. So I'm excited I did that. And the other night I also realized that my chat was on, because I wasn't figuring out that when I've scheduled a live, that I was getting confused because I must have started a new live and then I was using that old chat box. So I got that figured out. So little bit by little bit, I'm realizing, you know what, my computer's an older computer and I need to give it a little bit more time to warm up, a lot more time than I thought. It took me about a half an hour to get. My computer's like me, it just moves really, really, really slow. So I added this backdrop to this side, which I really like. I still have to kind of just throw it up there tonight, but I've been just kind of working on it. I really like that. Added to the wall, just a little piece of crochet. And I will modify the descriptions and put where I got this wall hanging, and I'm probably going to do a little bit more reconfiguring. It's not, it was just, I put it up there and then I went live. So I'll probably be, positioning it a little bit better, but I think it looks really nice. It gives a little bit of crochet, and it kind of, gives a little bit of something without it being, I didn't want something too colorful against the wall. So I'm going to show off a few of the baby items that I have made and put together for the upcoming trip. Please be praying for us. Snow was really bad today. My mom and my husband went out. I stayed home and I actually worked on this. And we're leaving Sunday. So please be praying that, we have good weather and safe travel. We're leaving Sunday morning and coming back Monday. And I said to my husband, you know what? Take a few minutes or take some just extra clothing just in case we get stuck somehow and the weather's really nasty and we have to stay another night. It's not in the plans to stay another night right now, but if we do, you always be prepared. So I really like this. It was just, it's a nice idea for a wall hanging. I really like that. And it turned out nice, and it gives, I think, a really nice thing. So again, I'll put that in the description. If you saw my thumbnail, you'll see that baby in that picture was actually my little girl. Way many years ago, but she was only about 2 days old when that picture was taken. And so that thumbnail picture is a picture of my little girl, who is now a beautiful adult and has just grown up. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's the time gone? the time gone? We actually heated up, been cooking soup all day because it just felt like soup kind of weather. So as soon as this live's over, I'm going to sit down and I think watch a movie with my husband and do some crochet. I had a hat that I actually didn't crochet. It was a thicker hat, and I left it at Sam's Club. And we just haven't been back there, and my husband and my mother went back, and for some reason it's not in the Lost and Found where it should be. So I need to crochet myself another hat for this weekend, or I'm going to be a little bit chilly. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to crochet and have some soup and sit down and probably watch a movie in the next hour. So I just want to ask everybody to please hit that like button and subscribe. If you would also share, if you would be so willing to, if you're on Facebook, just take our page and share it. This is going to be a place where we come together, hopefully a lot smoother. I've realized now that I'm kind of the last minute person here, but this is not where I need to be last minute. If I've said I'm going to come on at 7, I want to try to come on around or about that. And I don't want to, miss that. So I need to realize that my computer just needed to take a little bit more time to warm up and it's just a slow computer. So, anyway, I'm just thought, come on tonight again. I may come on tomorrow. I did pack, so a lot of the packing is done. We just have to put in the suitcase. Excuse me, but we'll see where we are tomorrow, whether I decide to come on. I may choose to come on, but there is a lot of snow outside. It's I think about 17 degrees, but it's been snowing pretty much all day, so there's a lot of snow. And I've just stayed inside. We cooked some soup and we're ready to get warm and stay indoors tonight. So I'm going to show you a few items that I crocheted for our trip to Cincinnati on Sunday, and I think these are so cute. The only thing I need to do with them is I think I need to do the crochet tires, because to me it looks like I may have crocheted with maybe 2 different size needles in the way that the thing looks. So I'm probably going to redo them again. I've got some extra yarn. I'll probably redo them. But isn't these the cutest? Aren't those adorable? Now in the description is the link for these booties, and I will tell you that on Amazon you can get these little inserts, which if you make booties, these little clear inserts, if you make booties and you give them as gifts, I think that's a really nice way of displaying them. But aren't they cute? Do you not see the little bobble stitches across there? Isn't that adorable? And if you can guess, it's a boy. I wore pink tonight because I had a girl, but isn't that just adorable? I think they're so cute. But I think I probably need to redo the tires because it just looks like one I may have crocheted with a 4.5 and then maybe did a 4 on the other one. So I'm just going to redo the laces, but they are done, and I have to wash them tomorrow. Aren't they adorable? I think they came out so cute. Hi, Mono. How are you? Isn't that adorable? They are so cute. They really are. And again, in the description is the description for it. Now, what I found out with these booties was I did, it called for a 4. I want to say a 4 millimeter hook. I ended up having to go down to a 3, I think. No, I didn't go down to a 3. It called for 4.5 and I went down to a 3.5. And I found out that I pretty much crochet on a looser scale than I thought. What I did was she gave me the descriptions for the soles of the shoes. So when I did it in the hook size she recommended, I measured from top to bottom and it was almost about an inch or two bigger. And so then I redid it and I did it in a size smaller. So I went down a hook size. So pay attention if you're doing this pattern. The only thing I would say is when you get to the sole size before continuing, measure with the little tape measure to make sure that your sole is exactly where I think it's 6 to 9 months or 6 to 9 months or 6 to 9 months or 6 to 12 months. That she gives you the sizes, and I would just make sure that it's exactly where it needs to be. And I actually had to go down a whole hook size when I did these, because when I put them, regular, it looked like a huge, look like a snowshoe for a baby. I didn't want to do a 0 to 3 because I figured they outgrow it so fast. So I chose to do the next size. And then I also did a C to C blanket. You can go on YouTube and type C, which is corner to corner, blanket, and you can find tons and tons of patterns for a C to C. So here is the C to C that I did pattern. That's the C to C. It's got the stripes in it, and it came out so pretty. So if you go on and you just look up a C to C, you will find tons of, it is one of the most easiest patterns to be able to do. So I did a C to C, and I did, I just did a double crochet, or not a double crochet, just a little ending stitch in gray. I just did a little, border, a trim on it. And so that is what I did for the blanket. That's the blanket. So the blanket and the booties, and adorable. So I did the blanket. And so that's what I'm going to be giving for the baby shower. And so I'm excited. I'm going to wash it tomorrow. And so if you, like I said, you just go on corner to corner is really one of my favorites. It's a really simple one. It's the one I'm going to be doing the lap blanket for my aunt in. And it's one of those patterns that I can just kind of zone out and not have to think about, which I'm thankful for. It's one of those I can go sit on the couch or sit in bed if I'm having a rough day and not really have to think about it, just changing the colors. So that is the blanket. So it's blue, and then this is all done with Hobby Lobby yarn. If you can see, I don't know if you can see, but the white has a little bit of a speckle in it. And I chose to just do, 10 rows of the blue, 3 rows of the gray, and then 2 rows of back to 2 rows of the white. So that is the baby blanket. So I'm excited to take it to Cincinnati and give it at the baby shower with the little booties, and I think it's going to make a great little gift. I didn't in the description put a C to C pattern in there because you can just type in C to C, and I think you need to find somebody that you can learn from, that you think you can get it pretty quickly. Some people love a corner to corner and some people don't. So this is going to be the little baby set for my soon-to-be nephew. Isn't it adorable? Like, it's really cute. So that is the The baby blanket I wanted to show you all before I had to wash it and then pack it up. And it goes to Cincinnati. We're looking forward to that. A couple things. I don't know if I'll be on long tonight, but just a few things I wanted to talk about. If there's topics that I'm going to be putting on a post probably next week, just topics of things that maybe people would be interested in. For example, I think a great topic is the ability to really not be able to listen to each other in today's world. I think we have kids that don't know necessarily what a healthy debate is. And the art of listening has really kind of gone away. Another topic I have that I think is worthy to discuss is forgiveness. I've had to deal with that within my life a lot, is being able to forgive those around me that I love. And I think people look at forgiveness as you're giving the power to the person you're forgiving, but actually you're really turning that power and giving that to yourself. And so I think that that's a wonderful topic to talk about, forgiveness. I'll bring my crochet bag and my stuff so you can see what's in my toolbox and what I tend to take places when I'm going or waiting for doctor's appointments or what have you. What are my toolboxes, or what's in my toolbox that I take with me? And I take my crochet bag about every place that I can. It's purple, of course. That's my favorite color. And so what is in your toolbox? And if you're going to, someplace or somehow, what do you bring along with you to kind of pass the time? If you've got to go to a doctor's appointment, maybe you just bring a book and so forth. So I think that that's a great thing. I'll be showing that as well. I think that I'd also like to come on and talk and do some crochet alongs, if you want to call it that, where I just bring my crochet hook, and hopefully we have some more people in the chat different times in the day, and maybe we can come on and just bring our crochet hooks or bring our knitting needles or looms or whatever, and just sit there and talk and crochet and do what bring that along and just have a chit chat. I really want this channel to expand and to grow. I know for myself that connection is so important on so many levels. I think also I'd like to be able to talk about maybe different cultures. I grew up in the Greek culture. My grandmother was Scottish, but I was very heavily influenced with the Greek culture. The movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, really resonates with me, and I think I'd like to explore that, as well as talking about my great-grandmother. Her name was Lizzie, and we often say, "We're getting your inner Lizzie out." She was a tough cookie. I have a lot of wonderful, wonderful stories about her, and I think that would be just a wonderful topic to talk about. She was a really strong woman. She was a tough cookie, and I tend to have a personality that is just this. I've never met a stranger. I can talk to anybody. I love putting parties together, and I can do it very well, and bringing people together and putting things together. And I resonate with that tremendously. And so, I think that that's an important topic to talk about. What does a strong woman look like? And she was certainly somebody that I'm telling you what, I never met her in my life. I certainly wish that I had, but just the stories from her. It was just, she certainly was an inspiration, and I never got to meet her. So I would like to talk, about my great grandmother and my grandmother. My grandfather was, he was in a wheelchair, and oftentimes when I'm getting up and I'm hurting, he's one of the people that go, well, you know what, Papu, if you could get up, and after a while he couldn't get up without the assistance of a lift, but he always had a smile on his face, and I so miss him, and I certainly want to do a show dedicated to him. He was the sweetest man I've ever met, in that kind of, grandfather and fatherly role. So I think that's an important thing. There's just a lot of topics that I think that we can hit on. We can have some fun. Everything does not need to be serious. We can have some good laughs and some good chats, and some jokes, of the we can have some good jokes and some good fun. And I think that those are important. So I found a joke for today. I figured lightheartedness. What do you call an unmarried stitch? A single crochet. I thought that was funny. So I'm going to look up some jokes that are crocheted related, and that's how we're going to start our shows, is maybe doing a crochet or a knitting joke or another kind of joke. I think we can have discussions about being a mom. I was watching something today, and they were talking about, how us, especially for women, our brains just don't ever stop. We think of this, then we think of this, and then we think of that, and then we think of this. And, sometimes it's really difficult, and it's lonely to be a mom, at different stages within their lives, because your focus is so much on the little ones. And I'm very grateful. I couldn't, best job I could have ever been in my life was being a mom, and I love my daughter. We're going to have her on. So I may try to come on tomorrow, and see if about maybe coming on and crocheting something, with you all, or just having a discussion. But I will put up in a post in the community tab of exactly what topics would you like to talk about. And hopefully we can get some more things going and people going in the chat. And it would be a great opportunity. I know that I'm in a niche, and that niche is not, I'm coming on to show you how to crochet. I also want to get people on here that do other crafts and other things that we can talk about. We always can learn and learn from each other about different things that they may be doing, and maybe they can show us how they're doing them. But I know I'm in a niche, because I'm not sitting here saying, I'm sitting here in front of a mic, I'm talking. And it's not showing you how to crochet, but we can certainly have times where I can say, come with me, let's talk, let's have our crochet hooks and our knitting needles or what have you, and come on and we can just chat about just basic stuff. I really want to keep, again, politics out of the limelight in here. There's a place and time for that, and it's not on this channel. I was watching, this is the way I feel. This is my channel. This is my mom's channel. This is our house. And just like if you're coming into your home, I'm going to be respectful of your house. And I just ask that when you're coming into my home and our home, that you're respectful to that. And so we can have a lot of fun here. I'm just trying to make sure that I can really, really focus on connection. And there may be times where I may say, hey, throw me a line. Because I'm hoping to get to the point where maybe if I don't know what to talk about, that the chat does it for me. The chat just starts talking, and we can talk about some stuff, some great stuff and some difficult stuff, some things that I think need to be talked about in today's world. We have a very, very crazy world today, and sometimes it can be scary. And sometimes, Jesus is asking us to hold his hand and walk on water and not look down. And that can be a really, really tough discussion. Another discussion I want to have is about dementia. I lived it with my dad for 7 years. It was a really hard, hard road. And you watch this person that you love just going downhill little bit by little bit. And, what that looks like. And then when they leave this world, you're expecting a very different feeling and emotion than I did. And I think that that's an important discussion point to have, because it certainly threw me for a loop. We're going to have more battle plan discussions. What is your battle plan? I have no problem having people on that want to talk about how their different battle plans, and how they deal with, chronic pain or fibromyalgia or depression. What's their battle plan? Because I think if we stop learning from each other, then you know what? We're not living. We have to sit here and learn. I'm going to learn something from everybody here, hopefully. And if we don't learn, then we're never going to know. We're going to sit here going, oh my goodness, we always have to be learning. I just think if I hadn't taken the moment and learned about how to crochet, I may not be where I am today in the crochet world. And I'm very, very thankful that I'm here and I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm enjoying it. I probably need to do some more, maybe look up some things. Again, if people have topics, I want the people in the community to come up with things that they would like to talk about. I did come up with a name. I know for our Facebook group, because I do want to get that going, so we can show off some of our beautiful, beautiful things that we're making. I thought about the Crafty Crew, but then I also thought about the Lighthouse Cove, the Blessed to Crochet Lighthouse Cove Crew, the LLC crew, LCC crew. I thought about that, the Lighthouse Cove Crew, which I think could be a little bit tongue twisty at times, or the Lighthouse Crew. Because I think that sometimes in our lives, I'm a big fan of lighthouses. I love lighthouses. My husband loves lighthouses. And sometimes we need a beacon when our boat's in trouble. And I think that maybe that would be a great thing to call Blessed to Crochet Lighthouse Crew. And I think that may be a really great name for our Facebook group. It is the beacon. We've got Tommy Scoville and the captain and the lifeboat, and it would be a great idea to maybe be called the Lighthouse Crew. I think that may be a really great name. I'm really, really liking that as I go on. I thought about the Lighthouse Cove Crew, but I think it's too much. But the Lighthouse Crew, and we can be a beacon to show other people how to use crafts and things with your hands, like knitting and crocheting and loom and diamond painting and drawing in an adult coloring book, whatever makes your day better throughout the day and makes you put a smile on your face. I know you could put me in a store, and if it has yarn, I could be in the aisle for 3 hours if I'm up to it. And so I know that that's where the smile comes on my face. So I think that may be a really great thing, is that we could be that lighthouse and that beacon for people when they're kind of struggling and having trouble in life, and what is helping us get through the day. I think that's probably where I'm going to go with that. So I will start a Facebook group so that we can really start connecting with others, and also showing people our wonderful and beautiful, beautiful things. We can show them on the lifeboat too, if you're in that private group, because I think that would be also another avenue to show people this is how I'm getting through today. And I think that's powerful. It's very, very powerful. So I think that's probably what we're going to go. I think that'd be really cool. The Blessed to Crochet Lighthouse Crew. I really like that. I'm really excited about that. I like that. I think that's a really good thing, because I hope to be a beacon of connection, and a beacon of this is my story and this is how I'm getting through. And I just happen to use crochet. What are you using to be able to manage, be able to get through the day a little bit easier? There's just so many things out there, and so if you're interested in coming on this channel, this is the way that we're going to work that. I've seen channels where they put I don't use StreamYard, I use OBS. And I would like to get my daughter on first. She's been under the weather, so I haven't. But maybe next week be able to get her on. I ordered her a mic, so she'll be getting that. And getting her on and making sure I understand how to do it first. But if you're interested in coming on, I'd like to be able to first go ahead and email me. The email is in the description. And then we would talk from there and do some kind of video chat, something, because I think that's important. I don't just want to, shoot in the dark, I guess you could say, which is not a good thing to do. This channel is important to me. And so I think that's probably the route I'd like to go to, is making sure that we have that we have a discussion before you would come on. But that's the way it's going to work. If there's people that do want to come on, that's how I would like to do them, or like to have them, be before they come on. That's how I'd like to do it, is to be able to make sure that we have some kind of discussion and through video chat first before we do that. And we I think that it's important, if you're going to be talking with somebody on this thing we call social media experiment world, whatever. I think it's important that the people that do that have a little bit of, some kind of talk prior to going live with each other, and having a little bit of connection beforehand. I think that's really, really important. I think that's extremely important. So that's the way we're going to do it. If you're interested, in the description below, please make sure you put your name. Make sure you put your YouTube channel if you have one, or your Facebook page, and we'll go from there. So I'd be more than glad to have people on that love to talk about how they maybe got into different kind of arts that they do. Maybe it's painting or something. I'd love to be able to show that. And I think that we have, for people, small businesses that do beautiful, beautiful thing. Maybe they can show, this is how I started my small business. So there's a lot that we can do, and so forth. Maybe we can have people that could come on and share recipes, or I don't know, y'all. I think we can do a lot. And I think that the more interaction we can have, and the more ideas, I may come on and say, idea night, give me some ideas, y'all. What would you like to talk about? What would you like to see, on it, and go from there. I really hope to get to the point where if there's people that need yarn and would like to do yarn for like different kind of organizations, that maybe we could, help. I'd love to be able to do that. I think that would be a great idea. Because yarn can be, to do a blanket can cost you $50 to $60. And it can, in a lot of time, worth it time, but it can be a lot of time. So I am going to come on, I think I may or may not come on tomorrow. And if I do come on tomorrow, it's just going to be bring your crochet hook, bring your knitting needle. Let's just get on here and talk and crochet together or knit together or do whatever you're doing to help you get through the day. If not, I will not be back on here Sunday or Monday. Now that may change. Right now I think I have 44 subscribers, and I'm hoping if I can get to 50, then I'm eligible to go live on my phone, which I think would be really cool because we're staying in a hotel that I've always wanted to stay in Cincinnati. It is beautiful, guys. Got a great rate for it. I wouldn't have been able to do it. Cutest little town in Cincinnati. And so I'd love to be able to go live. If not, I will take some video while I'm away and then post it as a video if I can't go live. But if I can get to 50 subscribers, then I can go live while we're away. I probably will not be coming live on Tuesday because we'll be back on Monday. And that's if the roads, like I said to my husband, bring some extra clothes. I have extra in case we get stuck an extra night. Tuesday is also my husband's birthday. So we may not be on that night, but I'm going to try to come on Wednesday. I'm going to schedule something on Wednesday. And I think what I'm going to do for a live on Wednesday, I had it in my head 5 seconds ago and it went that way. I had to think for a minute. Oh, I know what it was. I had done a temperature blanket for my daughter for Christmas, and it came out beautifully. And I learned a lot by doing that Pacific temperature blanket. It is a project. It is a wonderful project to get involved with, but it's a project. So I'm going to do the temperature blanket exactly how I did the temperature blanket. And how I organized, because you can, but it's better if you're organized when you're putting your temperature blanket together. So I'm going to, just go a little bit into detail how I did my temperature blanket, and I have a pattern in which I used for that temperature blanket, which I will put in the description below. And then another thing that I'm going to do, it may not be a live, it may be just a video. We'll see. It may be a live. I want to do a Pacific. We already did my ice yarn review order, but I think it would be very helpful to do an ice yarn within the title, Favorite, Savor, and Savor 100. And I will tell you why. Because there were times where I was just looking for those 3 to be reviewed. And I know I did an ice yarn order, which there's reviews out there in ice yarns, but I want to go over those 3 in a little bit more of a Pacific detail. And I would like to, I'm going to do a little bit of the swatches and throw them in the washer, not very much, to see what the how soft they are. So I'm going to be, I brought with me to go, when we go to Cincinnati, I've got the cake yarn I ordered from Ice Yarn, which if you go back to that review, all the yarns I ordered are in the description with affiliate links. And I've got, I think it's Favorite and Ice Yarn, those 2. And I'm going to be starting a lap blanket for my aunt. And so I'm going to take that with me when I go to Cincinnati and just go ahead and see how that looks, and I'll be able to give you a be able to give it to you because I'm going to use those 2 together, and I should have a little bit going on that. So I think that's probably the direction I'm going next week. So Wednesday is going to be temperature blanket. I think that's perfect because it's freezing outside. It's gone down, so it's 16 degrees. Soup is going to taste delicious tonight. A temperature blanket. How I did my temperature blanket. And then Friday, I don't know if I'll be on Thursday. I may be. Friday, we're going to do what's in my toolbox. And my toolbox is my bag that I take everywhere when I'm going to go stuck in a doctor's appointment or whatever. What's in there? Usually yarn, my neck light, my crochet hook, what I have in my crochet hook pouch. And I'll tell you why I keep my crochet hooks the way I do. I keep them together because I do not want to spend 3 hours going to find a hook. So usually when I get done with my hook or my needle, it goes right back in the same place, and I never have to sit there going, where did I put it? Where did I stick it? And so forth. So I think that we're going to go into a little bit of that. We'll just maybe have a chat. Maybe we'll do some crocheting together. I think what I'm going to try to do is at least once a week, pick a topic from my life experience. Maybe it's on forgiveness. Maybe it's on this or that. And we can sit down and have one of those hard discussions about it. So I think next week, I'll probably try to do something on maybe forgiveness. Maybe we'll do it on helping somebody through dementia, and we'll talk about that. My grandfather, or we'll talk about Lizzie. I think she was just amazing woman from what I've heard and the stories that I've heard throughout my life. And I can tell you, I have a little bit of Lizzie in me. I know that. And maybe we'll also next week I'll schedule it with it because maybe Thursday. If I do come on, we'll try to bring on my daughter. If she doesn't have anything going on, or Tuesday, it'd have to be Tuesday, because Thursday she usually goes and they go to a Bible study, so it won't be able to be that day. But maybe Tuesday, I'll work it out with her. I know we'll be back then. Never mind. I'll figure it out. It may not be next week because of Monday, but we'll figure something out. And again, Tuesday is my husband's birthday. So again, we'll figure it out, but I will schedule a time for her to come on because I think it'll be a lot of fun. And again, if you're interested in coming on, please, in the description below, let me know. Email me. I'll be glad to sit and connect with you, and we can go from there. Do that. So I really hope this channel grows, that we start making the connections with each other. Tell me what y'all think about the Lighthouse Crew. I really, really, really like that. I think that's what we're going to go with. The Blessed to Crochet Lighthouse Crew. I really wanted to make sure that even though it said Blessed to Crochet, I didn't want the group to be focusing on crochet. I wanted to expand it to a lot of different avenues, and make sure that we were a beacon of light when we need for connection to be the thing that we need it to be. So and I promise you that I will not wait. I will give my computer the time it needs to warm itself up, because apparently it needs some time, and I was sitting there going, come on, work, and it just did not. It did not want to. It didn't want it. It didn't want to. It did not want to. It wanted to take it slow today. It's just sitting there going, like I said, I've got an old computer, and it doesn't always want to. It doesn't always want to work. It wants to be old. I will also modify this in the video that I found this pattern. I actually really, really like it. It's a very simple pattern, and I probably could do a blanket out of it. It would be a very holy blanket, but if you wanted one that was very, something that wasn't too heavy, this would be a beautiful, beautiful pattern. And she did 3 different wall hangings, and I will put that in the description so you all can have it. I just like the idea of this, the wall hanging here, with the backdrop in the back. I think it adds just a little bit of the crochet. Crochet can be cool, y'all. It doesn't need to be boring no more. I tell you what, there is no reason for it to be boring. It is a beautiful, beautiful art form, and it is something that tremendously has helped me in my journey of having to deal with fibromyalgia. I'm very, very glad that I have it. I actually have to go and crochet a hat and scarf because I left my hat at Sam's Club and they were supposed to put it in the lost and found, and it didn't get in the lost and found. And so I had to make a new one. Or I'll be very cold Sunday. So I'm going to end with this verse. I'm going to go have my dinner. And it's Isaiah 41:13. For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, fear not. I am the one who helps you. Isn't that the truth? He certainly holds us in times of good and times of trouble. He's always there, and I'm very, very thankful. So I didn't quite know what I wanted to talk about tonight. I think that I covered some things, showed you that I wanted to make sure you all saw this before I took it to Cincinnati. Again, on Wednesday, I will come on and we'll talk about the temperature blanket and what things I found as I was making my daughter's temperature blanket. I've got one that I've actually commissioned to do, so I can show you that one. Friday, I think we're just going to come on maybe and just maybe have maybe we'll come on and crochet, and I'll also talk to you about what is in my toolbox, what I take with me when I'm going places. And I'll also have, I also want to do a video again on favorite Saver and Saver 100 in the description, so that, in the title. So if people are looking for those 3 yarns, it can be a help to them, because I know it was frustrating for me to find that specific description. And again, the focus is not always going to be on crochet. It will be somewhere in the videos, but it won't always be in the crochet. So again, if you are on here, please hit the like button. If you rewatch this, subscribe. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It only helps us to be able to grow this channel. I will make sure I give my computer the time it needs to warm itself up. And if you can share this, be more than willing, if you'd like to share this link on your Facebook page, tell people to come on over to the Blessed to Crochet crowd, and the Lighthouse crew. What do you think of it? Let me know what you think in the comments when this is over with. What do you think about the Lighthouse crew? Because I really, really like it. The Blessed to Crochet Lighthouse crew. I really think it's nifty. And I think that if we can be a beacon and a help and direct people to connection, and then direct them from here for more connection with the lifeboat and meeting to meeting. By the way, I got a big kick because in the package that I had sent Tommy, I had sent candy corn, and apparently he really liked the Christmas candy corn. They had Christmas candy corn, so I had to make sure that candy corn was in there. I have yet to taste it, so I didn't get any for myself, but I should, because I should try it. He said it was really good. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful weekend. They stay warm because it's a little bit chilly outside, and it's a lot snowy depending on where you are. I hope everybody stays warm and comfortable. And I may come on tomorrow. We shall see. I will see how I'm doing. It may happen tomorrow. But if you could please like and subscribe, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Again, I hope everybody has a wonderful night. And I said I was going to come up with a saying at the end of this whole thing, and I just figured out what it was a little bit ago, because I watched one of my videos actually on Facebook, and it was spread the blessings. I think that we forget how much in our lives that we can be a blessing to somebody else, that it doesn't take much. It just takes a little bit of something, and it doesn't have to cost a fortune. It can be as simple as to go to Sam's Club and pick up a $4, I think $4.89 chicken and dropping it off. I did that to a friend of mine. Her husband and her was sick, and we picked up 2 chickens and brought it to her house and said, here you go. Sometimes it doesn't take much. It just takes a little bit of something to let people know that they're connected and caring. So this is what I'm going to end with. I got a perfect ending tonight. Bible verses there. We got that done. But here's, and I'll probably retell the story more than once, but here's where I want to end with this tonight. I think that we have to realize in today's world, we've got to have the art of caring. It doesn't take a lot of money. This just happens to take money, but it doesn't need to. But here's the basis of it. I am a huge Elvis Presley fan. Huge. And it's something that I will also have on this channel and be talking about his story. And I think his things that we can learn from his story, both good and some things that, like all of us, he struggled with. And he saw an article in the paper about this woman who happened to be African American. And for those people that say that Elvis was racist, he wasn't. And it shows in more than one count of his life. And I don't think he would have mattered what the individuals, whether she was Caucasian or African American or what. I don't think he would have cared at all about what the person's skin tone was. We all bleed the same. And so he got one of his bodyguards got a newspaper article and said, Elvis, I think you need to read this. Well, Elvis was an avid reader, believe it or not. He loved books and he loved to read. And he read the article and he said, do me a favor. He said, get the best wheelchair money can buy. Now, this woman had no legs, and they had made this little board with these wheels on it, and then these little almost like skates, to be able to wheel herself around the house. And she had raised grandkids and she had raised kids, with it. And so he said, get me the best money that, the best wheelchair money can buy. So they got the wheelchair, they loaded it into the car, and they found out where she lived, called the newspaper, found out where she lived, and went to the house and knocked on the door. Well, the lady's husband was there, and he's, standing there with this wheelchair, and he says, can we come in? We have a gift for your wife. And so they came in the house, and they said the house was immaculate. And she just came around the corner on this little contraption they had built her to be able to get around the house and so forth. And she saw this wheelchair. She started crying. And Elvis said, ma'am, she looked at him. She said, ma'am, she said, can I get in it? He goes, of course. So Elvis, and one of the bodyguards lifted her in this wheelchair and said, ma'am, you know what? Elvis said to her, I don't know much about this wheelchair. I don't know really how it works, but I know it's going to take you around a lot of places and it's going to go really, really fast. He ended up giving money to the gentleman, her husband, and everybody was crying at this point. And Elvis said, you know what? We got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. And so he wished them all the best, and they left. One of the bodyguards behind him said, you know what, Elvis? I don't think she knew who you were. Here's the takeaway I want everybody to take away tonight with. Elvis said to that bodyguard, you know what? It doesn't matter who I am. All I want her to know is that somebody cared about her. Ding, 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 ding. That's all he wanted her to know. Somebody cares. If you have somebody that's a shut-in or somebody that's elderly and the weather's the way it is, maybe if you can, go pick them up a chicken from Sam's Club and drop it off and say, here's a chicken. Maybe it's a neighbor that has a difficult time. Go out and, if you can, go out and shovel their snow. Go out and take their trash can down. If you know that they're elderly, maybe go knock on the door. Maybe it's to pick up the phone and say to a friend, how you doing? Are you okay? Is everything all right? spend an hour, half an hour talking to them. I think that we have forgotten that in this case, it was a wheelchair, but Elvis didn't. The whole thing was not, I'm Elvis Presley. I'm not going to go knock back on that door and make sure she knows the person that came to the door to give her this wheelchair was Elvis. I didn't bring a camera crew with me for everybody in the world to see that I did this good thing. Sometimes it's just doing something for somebody else, picking up the phone, writing a little letter, sending a postcard, doing something as easy and simple as that. And we're also going to have that discussion. How can you show somebody that you care about them and connect with them and let them know that they're cared about? That's all that Elvis wanted to do. I want her to know that someone cares about her. So I think it's an important discussion to have about how can you let somebody know that you care. I think sometimes, you know what? We don't realize that those people that knit and crochet, if we've got yarn that is, that we've got left over, here's a perfect example. And it doesn't have to be a blanket. It can be as simple as a hat and scarf. It can be simple as a soap saver. Or, one of those little things you put the bars of soap in. It doesn't have to be something fancy dancy. You know what? What about a chocolate bar? Or M&M's to somebody that you just want them to know, hey, I'm thinking of you. Send a card. Send an email. Call on the phone. Text. It doesn't take much. It's just the art of caring. So I that's what I want. That's the theme of Blessed to Crochet. Spread the blessings. Find a way to spread them. Because you can be a blessing to somebody else and it can cost you nothing. It could cost you absolutely not a dime. Because it takes a text, it takes a phone call, it takes a letter, it takes an email. It can cost you nothing to make sure someone else knows that you care about them. And I think in today's world, I think that gets lost. So I may come on here at times and not know the direction I'm going to, but we'll get there. The Lighthouse Crew, I really think that we're sticking with that, y'all. I like it, the Lighthouse Crew. I think that you're gonna bail me out of it. I really like that. I love lighthouses. I think that there's so many meaning in so many ways. I like that. We're going to become called the Lighthouse Crew. That is exactly where we're going to go. I think that's a great topic, or a great name for us. And it really piggybacks to a lot of things. I really like that. So I think that's what we're going to be. But and I will come on at one point and tell the story about how my husband and I met. It's certainly a story that I try not to do too much on my computer when I'm on here because it doesn't always like me. I'm come on and certainly tell the story of how we met, because it's a pretty amazing story as far as I'm concerned. God had his hand all over that one from start to finish, and it's a pretty amazing story how the two of us met. And I think it gives encouragement today, and that you know what, you go through difficulties and thing, but if you got somebody that just loves you bunches, then you're in a good spot. So I'm going to get off here. It's been about an hour. I was hoping to get on here at 7 so that we could be done by 8, but that didn't work out because technology didn't fly for us. But I also will put it in the community tab about what people think about the Lighthouse Crew, the Blessed to Crochet Lighthouse Crew. Because let's be that beacon. Let's be that blessing to other people. And I think that as we get going, we're going to have that topic. How can you be a blessing to somebody? And maybe bring people on that have had people that have just done the smallest thing and turned out to be a huge blessing in their life. So we're going to have those topics. Thank you for coming on. Again, I will schedule a time before I bring anybody else on. I'm going to bring my daughter on so I can make sure that I understand how to do all this. Because it's not, I realized how to do it. I don't think it's that difficult, but I want to run it through her, doing it with her first before I do it with anybody else. But at least I got the chat working. At least I figured out, oh, I have to press that little button that says go live once you've scheduled a live in YouTube. I didn't realize that I had to do that. So, like I said, we're figuring out this technology as we go. And so I'm going to say goodnight. Please spread the blessings. Show somebody that you care about them, and it can cost nothing to do that. It just can sometimes be reaching out and saying, hey, you're not alone. And sometimes in this world, that's what we need to hear. I'm going to go have my soup. I'm going to crochet a hat and scarf for myself since my hat got lost. And I don't want to freeze this weekend. So I'm going to go do that. And I just hope that everybody will be safe and warm. And we may come on. I'm not going to schedule a live tomorrow, but if I do come on, I'll just pop on and maybe bring in my crochet hooks and we'll come along. You guys can come along for the ride. Have a great night. I'll talk to you later. God bless.